Thank you, Mr. President. Colleagues, on Saturday, I had the good fortune to attend the Women's March in Washington, D.C. I was able to march with my mother, my sisters, my cousins, good friends, and at least 500,000 other people to stand up for women's rights and to protest some of the tone coming out of the new administration. I saw friends from high school, childhood, law school, and dozens of friends and constituents here from Georgia, many of whom who traveled through the night. There were so many people that we couldn't do the march route. We all had to walk north from Independence Avenue up to the mall, the National Mall, on dozens of different streets to all meet up in one huge river of people on the mall, down Pennsylvania Avenue and toward the White House. And there were hundreds of fellow protests around the country and the world. 63,000 people braved the weather here in Atlanta. Chicago, where 250,000 turned out, and the march had to become a rally because people were swarmed all over the march route and no march could be done. St. Louis, New Orleans, Los Angeles, New York, Topeka, Juneau, Phoenix, St. Paul, Kansas City, Des Moines, Little Rock, and in cities around the world, London, Toronto, Melbourne, and lists too long to recite. Overall, at least 3 million people came out in the largest protest against the new administration ever seen. Why did people march? People are troubled and nervous about the divisive rhetoric out of this new administration, both on the campaign trail and since the election, and they wanted to show that they oppose it. Here's an example close to home. The president tweeted, of course, that Atlanta, the 5th district, is in horrible shape, falling apart, and crime-ridden. He also, in his inaugural address, talked about American carnage. Guys, people can see what that means. What he is doing, and he's done this many times already, is to conflate anything majority black with things that are crime-ridden, falling apart, and in horrible shape. This is not a mystery. We all see it, and I oppose it. And with the power that he has to shout stereotypical notions like that out on that platform and across that world, that is not okay. And that's why millions of people have come out to say, no, we're not going to stand for that. And because of the fervor and how many people are troubled and concerned, I think that the new administration, members of Congress, and leaders in our great state house would do well to remember that and govern accordingly, that we need to work together and not try to split people apart, and that there is not some huge mandate to trample on rights or progress that's already been made. Thank you, Mr. President. I yield the well.
Chair recognizes Senator